Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Utica Memorial Auditorium from Utica, New York. The Utica Comets and Toronto Marlies taking on each other for the second and final time this year. Utica taking the first meeting back in Toronto 4-3. Marlies with a win here today can clinch. The Utica Comets with a win here today can clinch. Both these teams are going to be head-to-head all night long looking to clinch. As here comes Nylander, moves in early, shoots it off the side of the net, and Poulter has it against the post and covers. Not much there, as the face-off will come to the right side of the Utica net. So Comets and Marlies, this rivalry goes a long way back. Divisional rivals, as here's the face-off. One back picked up by the Comets in their own end. The pass finds Foot. Here he comes down the left side, in over the Marlin line. Centers to Gambardella, in with a shot. He's kicked out by Oktayama. Foot to Schmelzer. Here's Jukovic down low. Gambardella right off the top of the shoulder of Oktayama and into the seating. No score early here from Utica. Both these teams look to clinch. The Marlies 9-4, the Utica Comets 9-2-2. Face off to the left side of the net, so the Comets are 2 points better than the Marlies with the same amount of games played. So if the Marlies find a way to win this in regulation, they will be ahead of Utica in the standings, but tied for points with the same amount of games played. Sent in around the boards it goes. Picked up around the boards it goes. The Marlies have more regulation wins than the Comets. But the Comets with less losses, more extra time losses, will be the spot below them if Toronto wins this game. Mermis looks ahead, and you might actually be looking at the round one matchup. If both these teams make the playoffs, they'll be facing each other, as here comes Lettieri shooting it down low. That's stopped by Poulter. It goes to the corner. Schmelzer down low for it. There was Greer trying to find it. Comets will bring it ahead through center. Jukovic almost halfway through one. Steps in and shoots. He's stopped by Oktayama. In the corner it goes. Looks back out front. It's Foot. Winding and shooting. That was blocked. Has it again from behind the goal out front. Foot. He put that to the net. It was blocked by Quillen. And here go the Marlies. Jacob Quillen has Logan Shaw to the net. His shot blocked, rejected, and picked up by Bowers. Sent ahead to Chris Kilo. Mermis took that back. Now Chris Kilo moves in. Goes right to the net. He's stopped by Oktayama. Plays that down, wrong guy, but Mermis did a good job taking it back. Shot into the Utica zone. Round the boards it goes. Here's Luke Ames to the net. Shoots it on goal. Stopped by Poulter. Plays that down to Chris Kilo. Stolen back by Logan Shaw. Kept it in with good pressure. Chris Kilo, good job by Hames. Villeneuve. Here's Mermis to the net. Easily knocked out by Poulter. Mermis to Quillen. He'll put it to the goal. Handled again by Poulter. And now the Comets will turn up ice. It's Bowers. Here's Bowers. In and over the Toronto line. He'll go to the net with it. Shooting it. It's blocked. And bounce to the point. Torberg couldn't get it out. Bowers sends it wide. 5.5 to go in a scoreless first. One-timer stopped by Oktayama. Torberg right back into the Utica zone. Under 5 to go in the first period. A very fast one between both teams who are trying to clinch here today. Here's Perrant. No center for Clarke. In he comes, step to the goal. Clarke stopped by Oktayama. In behind the net, looking back out front for some help. It's Missio. He'll go to the net. He scores! Missio gives Utica the lead. So Daniel Missio gets the pass from behind the goal out front. He'll step in and shoot it. And that will give the Utica Comets a 1-0 lead here in this first period late. A much-needed goal to put them ahead. Both these teams trying to clinch here today. The Utica Comets laughing right now as they're up 1-0, and they won the last game against Toronto, who had a lead in that game 2-0. Here comes Fazzetta. He'll step by. Numbers for the Marlies. Pass in front, and a big save made by Poulter. Here's Fazzetta. Fed it out front. No one was there. Comets will take it out. Missio. Along the boards, Marlies trying to get in there for it. Here comes Stillman. Trouble for Toronto. It's a breakaway. Stillman stopped by Oktayama. A huge save. And now Baddock the other way. 3 seconds to go in the period. Brandon Baddock to the goal. Fed it in front. They score! Michael Pazzetta with a buzzer beater. After a huge save made by Oktayama the other way, the Marlies tie it in the final second of the first. You just can't make this up. What a centering feed, and Poulter does try to come across and make the stop on this, but it's going to beat us just over that right leg. with no time left in the period to tie this game at 1. Here's the draw. And that will do it for 20 minutes here tonight from Utica. It's 1-1 after 1 as both these teams try to clinch here today. So Missio got it started and Pizzetta got it finished. 1-1 through 20. The shots a goal are 8-7 Utica. 1-1 after 1. The hits are 5-2 Toronto. Faceoffs 4-1 Comets. No power plays. 1-1. Second coming up. Welcome into period 2 here tonight from Adirondack Center in Utica. It is the Utica Comets and the Toronto Marlies in their second and final meeting of the regular season. Here comes Russo. He'll step by, moves right in and shoots. Save made by Oktayamov. That finds Nylander. He has Vinny Lettieri. Lettieri right back into the Utica zone again. Picked up now by Russo. Russo will carry it ahead. Here he comes inside, in over the line. Shooting that, it's blocked. Marlies Nylander trying to take it back, but it's Gamardella who won it. Jukovic in front. Schmelzer is stopped by Oktayamov, and he covers on that with a big save early here in the second. Face off to the left side of the Marley net. One back controlled by the Comets. Schmelzer. Russo. Here's Foote. Moves in. Can't get a shot though. Ricochet back to Oktayamov. Playing that down to Murmis. Here's Benning. For Nylander. Nylander back to Benning. Sent ahead, that finds Lettieri. He will feed it back into the Utica zone. Foote to it now for the Comets. He'll feed it now for Russo. Now ahead for Gamardella. In over the Marley line. Gamardella to the net. He's stopped by Oktayamov. Another big save. He played it back to the net. He made another save on that. Ames. Benning. Sent back into the Utica zone. Around the boards. Here's Quillen. Man in front. And it just bounced away from Luke Ames. Has it again and shoots. Save made by Poulter. Bowers kept in. Luke Ames is after it. In the corner, Ames won the battle. Fed it in front. They score! It's the captain, Logan Shaw, to put the Marlies ahead. Just about halfway through this one. Good save made by Poulter on Ames, and then Ames is going to win this board battle. He's going to feed it on his backhand across to the right side of the net where Logan Shaw is waiting for the tap in, and he does beat Poulter just inside the right post to give Toronto a 2-1 lead. Big goal for the Marlies. They have taken the lead for the first time here today. 2-1 just before the halfway mark as both teams look to clinch here today. Here's Attica. Moves in, might have a man going to the net. Attica centered it in front, no one was there. Comets have it though. Chris Keel behind the net, looking back from out front. Now behind out front. Here's the pass. And it came, but it was cut by Oktayamov, and the Marlies trying to kick it out of the zone. Villeneuve lost it in his own end, but grabs it back, and here comes Toronto. Haynes into the Utica zone. Rung around the boards, picked up by Missio. As the goal for Utica here today. They scored first, but have done nothing since. Perrott fed ahead to Bowers. Here's Bowers, steps in on goal! Stopped by Oktayamov. That's the third breakaway of the period, and he shut them all down to keep Toronto ahead by 1. The Comets have had 3 more minutes of time on attack. They've had more glorious chances than the Toronto Marlies, and yet the Marlies have the lead. Draw 1, here's Attica. Center to Missio, taken down. Power play coming to Utica. There's a shot that glanced wide. It may have hit Villeneuve. Pass finds Durandro. Touched up by Toronto, and Utica to the first power play of the game, down by 1. Late here in period 2 as Michael Pizzetta heads off. Following this game, the Toronto Maple Leafs will take on the Ottawa Senators in Ottawa after routing Ottawa back in Toronto. Here's the face-off. One back picked up Russo. In shoots, it's blocked. Johnstone will chase it down. Short-handed, Mark Johnstone. He's in! He's stopped by Poulter. A big save made to keep it 2-1. Russo. In come the Comets the other way. Benning trying to get back and defend. There's the shot. It's fought off by Oktayamov wide. And the Marlies clear. Ricochets down the ice. There was help going after it, and Cedric Paré does take it away. And here goes Paré now. Moves in, just backhands it to the net. And the save is made by Poulter. It bounced across to Johnstone, but he lays down and makes the stop. And keeps it a 2-1 game. Big save here by Poulter. The rebound comes out. He'll lay on his side to keep it out. And keep this a 2-1 game. Face-off coming here to the left side of the net. Not a lot of shots in this game. 13-12 in favor of Utica. Round one, Benning looks for a lane. Has one, puts it to the net. It went over the goal. Benning with it again. To the point, that's Mermis. Mermis moves in. He'll shoot it. Save made. Rebound, that shot. He couldn't jam in the rebound. Melzer. Gamardella with it now. Here come the Comets. Power play time running out. Boo's coming down. Here's the shot to the net. It's blocked by Shaw. Fed ahead, Quillen had it. Now Russo gets by the Marlies and brings it in. Russo to Schmelzer. He's stopped. Picked up by the Marlies again. Kicks it around the boards. That finds Quillen. Here comes Mermis. Now Jukovic. For Foot. In come the Comets. Foot to the net. He's kicked out by Oktayamov. Kept it in. 30 seconds left in the period. Here's Missio. Save again, Oktayamov. As he looks for his second of the night. Here is Quillen down low. 3 seconds. Save. Scores! The save made by Poulter, but Jacob Quillen follows it out and finds the back of the net to extend the Toronto lead. It's another buzzer beater for the Marlies, their second of the game, and they're ahead by 2 heading into the third. Quillen just puts it to the net, big save, but the rebound's there, and he's going to clean it up. Toronto Marlies up by 2 here late in period 2. So going into the third, the Marlies with a 3-1 lead, 2 buzzer beater goals in this game for Toronto. That's a weird way to get some goals, but it's working for them here tonight, and they're up by 2 after 2. Stats after 2, the shots on goal are 16-15. Toronto, it's 3-1 after 2. Hits are 10-9 Marlies. Faceoffs 10-2 Comets. 0 for 1 on the power play. 3-1 Toronto. We go to the third. Welcome into period 3 here tonight from Adirondack Bank Center in Utica. It's the Marlies and the Comets. You're looking at a round 1 preview if both these teams make the playoffs. Utica will have one more game left after this, so are the Marlies. Utica will have to win that game to face Toronto in round 1 if the Marlies do indeed win. Here's Grew. Scores! And that should pretty much put the icing on the cake here tonight in Utica. Bo Grew, early here in the third, extends the Marlies' lead to 3. Just a minute 30 in, it's a broken play at the Utica line. He'll step in all alone and beat Poulter right between the wickets to give Toronto a 4-1 lead. And that actually beats him just above the pad and underneath the blocker. Nice placement by Bo Grew. 4-1 Toronto. Round 1, here's Russo. Sends it to Foot. So Utica scored first in this game, and since it's been all Toronto, the goaltending has helped as well for the Marlies. Here comes Nylander, fed it in front and almost deflected in. That could have been more trouble. Jukovic to Gamardella, but you could probably think that the icing's on the cake here tonight. As Grew's taken down, no call on that. Gamardella moves in, fed it in front, good save, Oktayamov. Rebound, he stopped that. They whack away and he has it on him. Nylander, Benning. Line gone here in the third period, 4-1 Toronto. With Terry chasing it around the boards. Jukovic won that board battle, sends it for Gamardella. In over the Marley line, steps in and fires, and he's stopped by Oktayamov yet again. Marlies have it. Logan Shaw has Quillen. Here's Quillen looking ahead. He has Shaw with Ames. It's Shaw going to the net. Saved by Poulter. That almost got through him and in. 12:23 to go, third period. Marlies 4, Comets 1. Comets 9-2-2 on the year. The Marlies 9-4. 10 wins required to make the playoffs. Round 1, here's Benning. Moves in, waits, now takes, and it went wide of the net. Missio kept in by the Marlies. Hames has it, pass in front, and that one just missed. Shaw with it. Logan Shaw! That's just wide. Quillen to Benning again, lets it fly, blocked again by the Comets. They grab control, need to get it out here. Attica, Missio. Here comes Utica. They'll send back into the Toronto end. 9 to go here, third period. Marlies 4, Comets 1. Toronto losing 4-3 last game to these guys. Here comes Mermis. Hands on the shot, but grabs it back to Torberg. The pass was easily stopped. Torberg trying to chip it back in front of the net. Pare did keep it in. Here's Pizzetta to the goal. Stopped, and what a save. It goes behind the net. Back in front, there's another shot opportunity. That doesn't fall. Briskillo Here come the Comets. Time running out. 6 to play. Moves in and shoots. He fired that wide of the right post. Attica across. Wotherspoon to the goal. Stopped again. Rebound doesn't go. Third chance. They score. That will go in the net and get Utica their second of the game. It's Clarke. The Utica Comets back within 2 late here in the third period. Graham Clarke gets his 7th of the year. He has been their scoring leader with 5 minutes to go. It's a 2-goal game. On one back, Villeneuve. Torberg, fans on the send in, but now gets it in himself, and here he comes, Torberg! Save made by Poulter. Trying to put this game to bed. Pass finds Villeneuve, moves in and shoots, and went wide. Torberg back. Pare to Villeneuve, spins, shoots, over the net wide. 2.5 to play. Villeneuve gets it back again, lets it fly, blockered away by Poulter. Pizzetta behind the net, killing time off here. Pare back to the point. Here's Rafai, fakes, takes, that's blocked. Rebound in the slot. Marlies keep it in. Pare drops it back to Torberg. Last minute of play here in the third period. Torberg will bring it in here. Here he comes. He has Villeneuve. Kicks it across. It finds Pizzetta. Save. They score. What a goal. Oh, the setup. It finds Cedric Pare alone in front of the net. And the Marlies clean it up on the rebound and restore the 3-goal lead with just 24 seconds left. It's 5-2. What a play to keep it in, though, and then the setup for the Toronto Marlies to put this game to bed. So the Marlies will clinch. As here we go. Toronto currently is facing the Penguins in round 1 unless Utica makes the playoffs. They have 1 game left to do it, and there's another. As Nylander coming down the right side, no one paying attention to him. And the boos come down here in Utica as it's 6-2. Toronto Maple Leafs have 3 goals left. There are 3 games left in their season. They have to win all 3 games to make the playoffs. 7 wins on the season for them. They're 7-6. As Nylander adds on here for the Marlies in the final 20 seconds. 6-2. Draw 1. Russo poked ahead by Vinny Lettieri. And here's Lettieri off to the races. Stopped by Poulter. He'll cover as we're down to 10 seconds left to play. Marlies didn't like that blow last game back in Toronto against the Comets. They respond big time here tonight and clinch 6-2. Draw 1 picked up. Lettieri after it in the corner. It finds Jukovic. Camardella with it back. Here's Schmelzer. One last chance. Schmelzer in on goal. Stopped by Oktayamov, and the Toronto Marlies walk away tonight from Utica with a 6-2 decisive win. They clinch a playoff spot. As far as we know, right now they're playing the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. But if Utica makes the playoffs, they'll be playing the Comets in round 1. Toronto Maple Leafs and Ottawa Senators coming up now from Ottawa. We hope to see you there.